Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Jojo Palacio and on this channel we talk about all things beauty. Today we are doing this look right here. I like to call it a cafe latte moment. It's like a cool tone autumn vibey type of look. It's not fully matte, it's not a ton of shimmer, but it's definitely a soft glam moment. I've been going for looks that are a little more soft, subtle, everyday appropriate, nothing super harsh, just because I feel like that's where we're at, you know? I do love a pop of color, don't get me wrong. I plan on doing something bold for fall. However, this has been my go-to look recently and I'm not hating it, you know? So we're actually headed out to dinner and I feel like it's an appropriate look for dinner, for brides. This is excellent. Like, look at this complexion. In this video, we're actually trying a ton of new products, so stand by for that. And I do want to remind you guys before we get started to subscribe to my channel. So the way that we get the word out there about JoJo Beauty and about this channel is by you guys liking, commenting, and subscribing to this channel. We have goals to get to 1,000 subscribers by 2021 and we're almost there thanks to you guys. So before we get any further, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and let's continue on to get this slayage glam. You guys like how sleek my hair is? Yes. Let's get into this video. All right, everyone, so let's get to this look right here. It's so simple yet so pretty for fall. It's soft glam at its finest, and I called it cafe latte because it like literally reminded me of like how the coffee just goes from a very dark to like a foamy, light, airy moment. So we prepped our lids with the P. Louise Face Eye Base. I'll get it right eventually. Eye base, and then we are using this guy here today again. This is a 25B palette. Like I said before when I used it, if you're looking for a nice fall palette that's inexpensive, good quality, mostly matte, got a little bit of shimmer, formula is amazing. This is a really good one by Morphe. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the Makeup Shack brush T59 and these two colors here. So we're gonna toggle between these two colors in the brush. I like to build up my powders, my shadows into the brush before I go onto the lid. Building up means just going into the pan several times, getting rid of the excess so that we have good concentration. So what I'm gonna do is go onto this lid with those two shades. I'm gonna prep the lid with the nice bone tan colored shadow as a way to kind of set that base. You see that creasing that was just there that I had to work out? That's not gonna happen when we set it, and that's exactly what I want. So make sure you set your bases. And once you're ready, you're just gonna take this with a nice fluffy brush. Does not have to be this one. However, if you're looking for good brushes to invest in, this is the Makeup Shack is the brand, and the brushes are amazing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build these two colors up quite a bit using circular motions, just large windshield wiper motions until I get the good concentration. All right guys, so this color is a nice cool tone brown, which I've been playing with quite a bit lately and I like it. The nice thing about these shades is that it's very difficult for you to overwhelm the eyes with this shade just because it is such a nice, almost similar tone to the skin. So what we're gonna do next is use the same palette, except we're gonna go the same row all the way down to this guy here. So I like to think of this type of eye look as almost like an old school eye, where do you remember you had a crease shade, you had an outer corner shade, and then you had a lid shade. Very similar moment. So I'm gonna just build this up using a Morphe brush. This is the M433. I'm gonna say T. M433, and this color is gonna stay right in the outer corner here. And so what I like to do is just tap the product and get rid of the most pigmentation where you want it. And then you start building the product up into those areas. When you feel like you have very little product left on your brush, you can then start to swirl and do, you know, some of the more blending actions. Right now we're just trying to build. When I first started doing my makeup, just because it was such an easy way to get a nice sharp edge without having to like wipe or try too hard. So I just like to do that just to kind of create a lift, almost like a faux false liner moment, but we don't use too much liner, you know. The look stays soft because of the fact that we're not using liner, but it gets some definition. So once you've got that build, you see how it like instantly lifted the eye? I love that. Once you've got that build there, what I'm gonna do is go on to the lid shade. In the lid shade, you're gonna stick to the same row. We're just gonna use this nice shade right here with a flat brush. The flat brush, you're gonna pat onto the shadow to pick up the color. There's actually really good pigmentation in these shimmers. I didn't have to wet it. And then we're gonna swipe to deposit onto the lid. Swiping motions just helps gets the most out of these pigments. And you can build and layer up the color. So we are at the point where we can start with liner. So for liner today, we are using the 24/7 Glide On pencil by Urban Decay in the shade Demolition. I love these pencils. If you are looking for a good quality gel pencil, look at Urban Decay. They're so good. They're very good to work with. They're very gentle. Even though you sharpen them, they're not gonna like poke your eye. All right guys, so lashes are on. The look is starting to come together. My little cafe latte moment. Don't you love that? Oh, love it. Okay, so as you guys know, if you don't, you need to. And I'm gonna link it above. I just filmed a huge Sephora gratis haul that had a ton of Complexion concealer, foundations, primers, and things like that in it. And I am super excited because I have some of that stuff. And so today for foundation, we have a new foundation. I know that you guys have probably seen this all over social media. This is the new Born This Way matte. I love the original Born This Way. Clients love it. It's such a good full coverage, lightweight, but there for you type of foundation. And I'm really excited for this one. I want to try the formula and the texture and the wearability. So we're going to get into that, but let's prep first. So for prep, I want to use a combination of primers. And so we have the Dr. Brandt Pores No More in the center of the face. And then I have the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Primer. So I have combination skin, and for combination skin, the best thing that I can tell you is to use a combination of products, both in skincare and in skin prep, to get your skin to do what you need it to do all day. So I like to use this to hide my pores, to help me control the oil, and then I like to use the Banana Bright Primer to give me a little bit of hydration in the areas that I am dry or I have texture, just because I like to wear matte foundations, but I don't want it to be super matte looking or feeling. So face is prepped. Let's get into this moment. So I picked it up in the shade Natural Beige. I am a little tanner. You guys can't tell because I have you zoomed in, but I am a little tanner than usual. So I'm going to take a couple of pumps of this Natural Beige, which is honestly looking a little light. I'm going to use another The Makeup Shack brush. This is the T40, which is a buffing brush. Buffing brushes are going to get you the maximum amount of coverage with the most minimal amount of product. So if you want a full coverage look, consider using buffing brushes to apply your foundation concealer products. It's just an easy way. You just apply this everywhere. This is actually perfect for me, which is nice because I think I've shared this with you guys during the gratis haul or maybe during my NARS review video, but we don't get to actually see these foundations in person. We just kind of have to guess, and a lot of the times we guess wrong because something changed in the color format or in the formulation. So it's a relief to have guessed right. This is a 2 for 2 so far. Again, if you haven't seen my review on the new NARS soft matte, go check it out. A really good review. I also did a review on the Selena Gomez brand and the few things that I got in gratis there. So go check those videos out just because they're good. They're really, really good reviews. They're very honest reviews. All right, so far, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I knew that I would. I love the Too Faced original. I love anything by Too Faced. It's just so good. But this Born This Way is oil-free, oil-controlling, waterproof, and transfer-resistant. So if you're looking for a really good foundation to wear underneath of a mask, this might be something to look into. I probably will have to wear a mask at some point tonight, so I'll get back to you guys and let you know how I felt about the way that it wore with a mask. Okay guys, so moving on, we're going to cream, bronze, and contour. I'm going to use my regular routine with this just because I want to see how my regular products work with newer complexion products. So I'm going to use the Milk Makeup Flex Foundation Stick in medium tan to bronze. And then to do a little bit of contouring, we're going to use the LA Girl Pro Conceal. So I'm going to put this in the shape of an E or a 3 depending on what side you're working on. So cheekbone, forehead, and then underneath of the chin. I also like to do the nose with this. Very nice. And so this is a pretty warm foundation, like a pretty dark enough foundation. I don't feel like I have to do a lot. A lot of the times I will make up for the fact that my foundation isn't the right color by putting on a little more bronzing cream, but this is good. We're gonna work this in with a brush, just pushing it into the skin. I like to push instead of swirl so that I don't lift. You can a lot of the times avoid lifting by doing this technique. Sometimes products just don't really blend together, so they'll lift regardless of what you do, but this for the most part works. Rest of the face. And so now we're up to another couple of new products. So I know that I used this product in the past couple of videos. This is the Clinique Even Better All Over Concealer. I'm really liking this to the point where I'm using it on its own, glam moments, soft glam moments, and I'm still really impressed. One thing that I do want to show you guys is that it has its own sponge for you to blend out and kind of use as an applicator. I like that. I don't know if I love it, but I like that. And we're gonna get started. So this is gonna be my concealing shade. Concealing shade is typically same shade as your foundation, sometimes one shade lighter maybe, and goes in the areas that you want to cover up any type of darkness or redness, any additional coverage that you might need that your foundation didn't give you. I have more than enough coverage with this foundation, but I do like to cover up my darkness underneath the eyes, redness in between the brows, and then any type of blemishes that I have, because I have a little bit of texture, not so much blemish, more texture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to blend out with my Hank and Henry sponge the areas that are furthest away from the under eyes. If you're someone who doesn't like to highlight, you just like to conceal, you could very much just go on your merry way after that concealer because it's such good coverage. But I want to highlight, and I have another concealer that we're going to use. So for highlighting, brightening, we are using another Too Faced product. This is the Too Faced Peach Concealer. So this one is very similar to the NARS pot in the sense that it's a gel formula. It comes in a pot. I'm going to use the same brush, which is the Real Techniques crease brush. I just love the deluxe crease brush for under the eyes and buffing because again, it helps get more coverage with less product. And so I picked it in the shade Buttercream. I have a feeling that this is going to be really brightening, but we'll see. So in the spirit of the peach line, it does have that scent, that like peachy scent. It is very brightening, but at the same time, it's blurring. Like, that blended out pretty. So with these type of concealers, the cream formulas in a pot, I like to use the brush to both blend it out and apply it. And I also make sure that I use little amounts because the coverage is usually insane. Set with my JoJo powder combination. I always like using new products with the same good old things that like work for me because I'll know if I can incorporate that into my routine or not. If you use a whole bunch of new things and something doesn't work, you don't know what didn't work because you used everything new, you know? Make sense? So like usual, you want to push this powder into the skin. Pushing powders into the skin helps it set better. It helps it absorb. It won't just sit there and cake and set lines. You don't ever want to set a line or a crease or a fold. You just always want to work it into the skin so that it absorbs between the moisture and the sponge and the heat of your body. It'll just dissolve and make one perfect blurred beautiful complexion. Like, alrighty, awesome. Let's move on to the rest of the complexion. We're going to use another KVD Beauty Shade and Light palette. Love that palette for everyday glam moments. I'm going to use that first shade and a Morphe JH05 brush to get some more contour going on, a little more hollowness. It's like a very cool toned contour shade, but I like it because it creates some more depth in my cheekbones, creating the illusion of a lifted cheekbone. All right, we are contoured up. Look at this. Complexion is everything. Everything. So we are doing inner corner. For inner corner, I'm gonna take this guy because I got it right here. It's that Pretty Vulgar palette and the shade Glimmer of BS for the inner corner. For our under eyes, I'm just gonna sweep a little bit of the two powders that are in the Kat Von D palette, the pink and the yellow one. And we're just gonna dust off. If there is anything to dust off, we're gonna dust that off, and then we're just going to reset and add a little coverage. I like how brightening these shades are. Sometimes when you do a lot of bronzing or the eyeshadows, it can really just do a cast under the eye area, but look at this makeup look. So first of all, I know I'm calling it the fall cafe latte moment, but however, this is perfect bridal glam. Like, who are we? What's next? Let's do the highlight. So for the highlight, I was gonna use that, but I think I'm gonna use this. So we're gonna go back into this guy right here. This is a Pretty Vulgar nesting bleep bleep face. So we're going to put that same Glimmer of BS right on the cheekbone. Give yourself a nice little highlight moment. Love that for me. So this is in the shape of a C that you're applying this way. And then we're gonna take that same shade and put it down the bridge of the nose. And then for blush, we're taking the two center shades, that guy and this guy. One's matte, one's not. So I just wanna dip into the Hush blush and then mirror, just a little bit. And then we're going to put that right in between the bronzer and the highlighter to marry the two shades together. Guys, I'm obsessed with this cafe latte moment. Like, look at the contour, look at the coverage, the complexion is on point. This foundation pulled through so far. First impressions on all of these new products is yes. Let's see how they wear though. Very important. So we are going to set with my Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. Once we set, I'm going to go put some lips on, straighten my hair out a little bit because I just washed it. We're having really good weather, plus this keratin treatment is like everything for my hair. So let me go clean up and I'll be right back to do the outro. All right guys, so this is the finished look. I went for a sleek, straight hair type of look since, you know, we've got some length, a little bit of, yeah, we had a moment. We did it. So this is the finished look, guys. I hope that you like this little cafe latte moment. Again, very appropriate for bridal. This is definitely a date night type of look. It's definitely fall just because it's so warm, but we did cool tones, not warm. So it's darker, but cool toned, which I love. So I hope that you guys liked it too. I hope that you liked how simple and quick it was because it literally took me minutes, like 25, 30 minutes maybe, to get this full glam look together. I will get back to you guys and let you know how I feel about the foundation, so stand by for that. And that's it. I hope that you guys liked this look. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. If you have not done so already, subscribe to my channel. I post 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, every single week at noon. I was gonna say midnight, but noon. And that is it for today, guys. I love you, bless you, and I'll see you next time.